to today's update. I've got a slightly different background to what I would normally have, but Ryan's actually in our home office, so I didn't really want to wait for him to be done, so I just thought I'd do some filming in here. And I think the lighting's not too bad, but I do prefer the lighting in the other room. But let's get into it. So today is Tuesday the 10th of February, so I am sure you're all wanting to know what happened at my appointment yesterday. So yesterday was another appointment to have a blood test and a scan just to see how things were going along, and if everything looked good then I was supposed to come back tomorrow for egg pickup and have a trigger yesterday. That didn't happen, so I didn't have my trigger shot yesterday. So what did happen was I had a blood test, and as far as I know those were normal. The nurse didn't ring me back to say otherwise, so I'm just going to assume that all my levels were in normal range. And just to give you guys an update on my bruises, this is my one from last Friday, which is finally starting to heal a little bit. They actually tried to do a blood test on me there on Monday but couldn't get any blood, so had to go this arm, and this arm's not so bad. I've just left with like a little mark there but no massive bruises, so that's good. And then I went for my ultrasound, and the nurse first looked at my lining, which again is normal. I don't know numbers, sorry. My left ovary, again, not doing anything terribly exciting. I think she said there were a few like really little follicles, and because of the position that it's in, so it's tucked up underneath my uterus, there's really no point. Even, I guess if I had one big one there, it may be worth it, might not be worth it, because they would, in order to get to the ovary, they would have to go through my uterus to get it, which would be really uncomfortable. From what she said, it makes things a bit more painful, and they'd have to put me on antibiotics for that. And honestly, I don't think it'd be worth it if there was only one there, but there are little ones there, but again, not nearly enough to bother collecting, so we're just going to leave that ovary alone. And on the right side, those follicles have grown slightly. When she first looked at it, she was really happy, but then when she measured them, they're not quite big enough yet for me to have had my trigger and for them to collect tomorrow. Like, she just wasn't happy that they were big enough, so she ended up by giving me some extra drugs. I'm still on the same drugs that I was on, I just have almost run out of the gonal F, and I had run out of the orgalutran, so she had to give me a few more of those. So I'm still on that. I'm going back tomorrow for another scan and more bloods. I feel like a bit of a pincushion, to be honest, but it's alright. So hopefully, you know, tomorrow they'll be big enough for then me to trigger tomorrow night and then egg pick up on Friday, but we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm not really disappointed. I you know, like, of course I would have loved to have had egg pick up tomorrow and embryo transfer on Friday, but that's not meant to be, and it's fine because at least I've got follicles there, they're growing. My body's actually doing what it's supposed to do, even if it's a little bit slower than what we would have liked. But again, I was on such a low dose of gonal F to begin with, because I didn't know how I was going to respond. So, you know, next time if we have to do another round, I think we'll be able to get the medications a bit better right from the get-go, so that, you know, I won't have to have so long of stimulating. But, you know, like I said, I'm not really disappointed. Other than that, I haven't really had any, you know, symptoms or anything like that. I do feel slightly full in my abdomen, like kind of a bit like I'm bloated, and I have been getting more of the sharp shooting pains, and I'm starting to get them on the right side as well, which I figure is a good sign that something's happening there. So I did a little bit of research today because I really wanted to know if there was anything that I could do on my end to help increase the size of the follicles besides continuing on with my injections. A couple of the girls on my IVF forum suggested using a heat pack, so I've been throughout the day popping the heat pack on my stomach, just at a medium heat so it's not too hot, and just really relaxing and having that on my belly, especially around that right side as well, and it's kind of helping with the fact that I've been getting those little cramps anyway, so that kind of helps with that. Besides that, another suggestion was a protein shake, and I do actually have protein downstairs, so after I go to the gym this afternoon I'm going to be using that. My general diet is pretty high in protein, like I do have protein in all of my meals, so I don't really think that I need to increase my protein that much. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good with protein. Another suggestion was acupuncture. Now, acupuncture is something that I used to do every week. I had an acupuncturist that I used to go to, and I was really quite happy with the progress that I was making with him. I originally started to go there for him to treat my endometriosis. And also, you know, to help with fertility. But unfortunately I've stopped seeing him now just because I felt like he wasn't really listening to me, and I think I've mentioned this before in other videos. But I'd get there and he would want to know where I am in my cycle, what symptoms I had and that sort of stuff, and I'd go to tell him, but before I could even finish a sentence he'd be like talking over the top of me again, and I really just felt like he wasn't really listening to me, and so I decided that I'd stop seeing him and look to find another acupuncturist. So I haven't been going to acupuncture for quite a number of weeks, probably maybe 2 months or so. Definitely not since I've moved here anyway. So I'm looking for a acupuncturist that specialises in IVF, or like works with a lot of women that are doing IVF, because the acupuncturist that I used to have, I'm not really sure if he dealt with many women that are going through IVF, and I didn't really feel comfortable with that as well. I wanted someone that knew the ins and outs of IVF and knew what they could do to help, and like things that you should avoid and that sort of thing. I didn't want to risk my old acupuncturist not knowing exactly what he's doing. I'm sure he did know what he was doing, but yeah, I just felt like it was time to move on. So I'm in the process of looking for a new acupuncturist. Obviously money is still quite tight. I do have private health insurance, which should cover like a good chunk of the consultation, but I won't be able to do that probably till the end of the week, like I get paid tomorrow. So what I plan to do is definitely do acupuncture for the time when I'm getting the embryo transfer. So definitely do it on the day of the transfer. So hopefully once I know what's going on and after I have my egg pickup, I'll be able to make an appointment. I've been given the name of a guy that operates a clinic, and he actually it's only a few suburbs over, so I'll probably be going to him because it's nice and close, and he definitely deals with IVF, so that is my plan. Apart from that, I'm just continuing on, nothing overly exciting. Hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow I'll go and they'll say that my follicles are big enough and I can trigger and I can stop all my other injections, which would be lovely. But either way, like I'm not going to be terribly upset if that doesn't happen, because I'm just happy that I've got follicles and that they're growing, and I don't really know what I would do if they had stopped growing. I don't really know what the plan is, but hopefully that won't be the case, and I'll have some good news for you guys on Friday. So I'll talk to you then. Bye! For those of you that are interested, I just thought I'd include a little clip of my bruises on my stomach just so you could have a look. They're actually looking pretty good at the moment. They're pretty much healed. So yeah, I'll just give you guys a look. So I have this big bruise here, but like I said, it's almost healed, and my stomach overall is looking pretty good.